Hello everyone, good evening. So are you all ready with your materials? We shall start shortly. I shall just wait for 1 to 2 minutes, and till then we will discuss about what materials I'll be using. And have you all like kept everything handy with you? Just let me know in the chat box, or else if you want you
Yes,
can.
yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, great. So I shall show you the reference for today's painting. So I will be recreating this painting. So this is a sunset roadscape. So this is a landscape basically. So we will be painting this one, and you can use gouache paints, or if you don't have gouache, then you can use acrylic paints as well, or else you can go for poster paints as well. Poster paints work absolutely fine. They are very similar to gouache paints. So if you don't have gouache paints, you can go ahead and use poster paints as well. So we will be recreating this painting today, and the materials that I'll be using, I will be using this journal, watercolor journal, and this is in the size, this is an A6 sized journal, and the papers are 245 GSM, but I will recommend you guys to use papers above 300 GSM, um, or else if you have something around 200 GSM, then you can use that paper as well. So I will be using this, and if you want, then you can use washi tape or masking tape and just tape it down around the corners. And since this is a watercolor like sketch pad, I won't be um, putting up any tapes around the edges. I have just taped a short tape here near the spiral bound, so that the color doesn't um, like cross the boundary, like just to have a clean edge. And for gouache paints, I will be using hemi gouache paints. These are the jelly colors. I'll be using this. If you have Bristol gouache, you can use those as well. The colors are pretty much all the colors that I'll be using for today's painting are the basic primary colors. You will find it in almost every set. And for brushes, I will be using a filbert brush for making the, for blending the colors in the background and for painting the sky, and round brushes, and maybe a liner brush. If you don't have a liner brush, it's okay. You can just use a smaller brush, and a smaller round brush for making the detailings. We can start. I guess I hope you are ready with your materials. If you have any queries, if you have any questions regarding the materials that I'll be using, please drop it down in the chat box, and we shall start. If you want to have a look at the reference, then this is the reference. We will be recreating this painting today. So we will start off by painting the sky part first, and then we will move on to the road and the hilly areas. Okay, so for reference, if you want to sketch out the road part, then you can just do it with the help of a pencil. You can just sketch out the basic outline. So like this, I will be using a pencil, and I'll just sketch the basic outline of the road. This is just a rough sketch for the road and the hill areas. Okay, so I'll start in the paints, and I'll just start with painting the upper part of the sky. So for the upper part of the sky, I'll be using Prussian blue. So I won't be mixing any other shade, any other color. So I'll just take Prussian blue. And I'll start applying it. Now you need a little bit of white paint, mix it with the Prussian blue, and so I'll just mix a little bit of white, and I'll just apply the color just below the blue shade, the dark blue, the Prussian blue shade. Now for the lower part of the sky, I will be using yellow, and I'll mix a little white to it. So take any yellow shade, from preferably the mid yellow one. So just take a yellow shade, mix a little, and mix it with a little bit of white. And we will try to blend the colors in. Even if you can't blend the colors, it's okay. We will be painting clouds anyways. Just use a little bit of white paint and simply run the brush over the area where you want to blend the colors. This is the shade. Okay, so this is a normal yellow shade, a mid yellow shade. The shade name is mid yellow, and you can just mix a little bit of white to it, because we will need a little bit of, just a tinge of yellow, and we will need the shade for painting in the lower horizon. Now once I have blended the colors in, I'll just take the yellow shade and I'll start painting near the horizon like this. And merge it with the yellow. So this is it for the sky. We will start painting the clouds now. So the clouds that I have made in the painting are pink and orangish. So for me, if you don't have pink color already, then you can just mix white with crimson red. So I would recommend you to use a damaged brush for painting the clouds, because we don't want we want the clouds to be a little realistic, and like I would suggest you to use a damaged brush in which the bristles are little scattered, so that will just make the clouds look better and give a better effect to it. So for painting the clouds, I will be using this brush. So as you can see, the tip of this brush is not fine, and it is almost damaged. It is actually damaged. So I will be using this brush, and I'll just take my pink color. I don't know the shade. This shade is already there in the set. So this is the shade I'll be using. And I'll just mix a little bit of white to it. If you don't have this particular shade, then you can just simply mix white and crimson red, and you will get your pink shade. So I haven't added much water. I just added a little bit of water to mix it with white. So the consistency of paint is quite dry, and I'll start by making random short strokes. I'll mix a little bit of white. And using short strokes like this, I'll make clouds. I'll paint some clouds near the upper part of the sky as well. You can add clouds wherever you see that the blending hasn't been done nicely. So just to cover up the mistake, you can add clouds to that area. That is what I usually do. So when I feel like the blending isn't that great, I simply paint clouds. We'll add some orange clouds here near the horizon. So for now, I'll just keep on painting pink clouds randomly. So you can see I have barely added water to the paint. It's very dry, so that will just help you to create these wispy clouds, you know. So just to add that effect, I'm using very less water. I am using gouache only, but the process for painting using acrylic medium is also very similar. Like it's similar, just that you are not supposed to add water to the paint. Even if you add water, just add a little tiny bit of water. Don't add too much. The process is very similar. You just have to layer on the paints. That is how it works. For the lower part of the sky, as I told you, I'll be painting orange, like pastel orange sort of uh, clouds. So I'll just take the shade. I don't remember the shade. This is an orange shade. I guess this is scarlet red. If you have this shade, this is an orangish red kind of shade. So I'll just use this shade and mix a little bit of white to it, and I'll use that shade for painting the clouds near the horizon. I am painting very short strokes. I'm making very short strokes using the paint. I'll just add a little bit of water. If you want, you can add more clouds. I'll just keep it like this. let me know if you're done with the sky part. So this is the entire sky part. We are just left with painting the moon, and I'll just paint it in the end. I usually prefer to add the moon at the end of the painting. So I'll just keep it for the end. And now we will start painting the road. So let me know if you are done painting the sky part. For the road, I'll just use black and mix it with white. So for the road part, what I'll do is I'll just mix white and black because we want that grayish color, this color basically. So you can take any round brush. So for the road, I'll just start mixing the paint. I'm taking black. And I'll add white to it. We want the road to be more of like dark gray. So okay, so this is the shade that I'll be using for painting the road. So I'll just start painting it. Okay, so once the road is dried, we will make the details later on, like the road divider. We'll make it later on. First, we will paint these hills. So for this, I will be using black only. Don't mix any white this time. I will use black only, and first layer the entire black paint, and then on top of that, once the black paint will dry, I'll start stippling the brush using green paint and make these shrubs here. Okay. This is a black paint. I'm using a complete black paint, and I haven't mixed any other shade, any other color. So this is just a complete black paint, and I'm painting it in the leftover areas. And now for painting the shrubby part, you just have to take that damaged brush once again. Take any green shade. I would, if you have olive green shade in your palette already, then just take that. And if you don't have an olive green shade, what you can do is take any green shade. For example, I'm taking this shade. I'll take this and just mix a little bit of brown to it. Any shade of brown would do, but it will be better if you use a burnt umber shade and simply mix the color. This is an olive green shade. You can use any shade of green and just mix a little bit of brown to it. And then I'll just start stippling like this. So I am simply stippling the brush. Okay, so just stipple using the tip of the brush. I'm simply stippling the paint on the paper. So I won't be adding any green shade here because this part is completely dark. Okay, I'm just stippling some paint over this side of the hill. So once you are done, you can stipple a little bit of green shrubs this side as well, just a little, not much. Now using a lemon green shade, I'll use the lemon green shade and mix it with the olive green. Lemon green or lemon yellow, whatever. I don't remember the name exactly. I guess it was lemon yellow. This is the shade. I will show you. This is the shade. You can also mix yellow, normal yellow as well. But lemon yellow, because it has a green tinge to it, I'll just make little leaf-like structures. Now using a tiny round detailer brush, you can use a 0 or a 000 size brush as well. I'll be using a 0 size round brush, and I'll make few pine trees here using black. So these are just the silhouettes. So for painting the pine trees, what I'll do is I'll just draw a straight line and then simply stipple the brush to make the leaf. You can add as many trees you want. I'll just add few. You can add few trees here as well, just for the details. Now for making the road divider, I'll just use yellow and mix a little bit of white to it to make it more opaque. So I'll take yellow, I'll use the same round brush, a smaller one. And I'll start making the road divider. So I'll start. So here near the end point, the thickness of the road divider will be lesser, and when it will be nearer, the thickness will be more. So to make it more realistic, and I'll just paint another row divider in the same manner. I just used a normal mid yellow. Any yellow shade would do. Now I'll just paint this white border part. So again, you can use the same brush. I will be using a liner brush because this part, like the line will be more, the lines will be more thinner. Pardon me. You can also use a white jelly roll pen if you want. And then just to finish off, I will add the moon. So I'll add a crescent moon. Just use detailer brush, mini detailer brush, and make a crescent moon. And you can add a little bit of stars here and there. Just don't add too much. You can also add birds too. I'll just let it be like that. Okay, so this is the finished painting. Once completed, you can post it on your stories. You can post it as a static post and then simply tag me and Zen Sangam, and we would love to see. And thank you so much for joining. I hope this was a interactive session. I hope you got to learn new things. Have a great day.